Don't starve together. Despite the fact the game itself clearly says in the title it's a multiplayer game, barely anyone actually plays this with anyone else, let alone their friends, instead of just random people who are looking to grind skins. But to be quite honest, I can't really blame people for playing this game solo. First off, most people who get this game, myself included, are part of the most AAA games are bad crowd, so you aren't exactly going to be Little Miss Popular. Second, the game is quite small, so chances are your friends won't own it and you'll have to just try and convince them to get it. And three, it seems like the actual goddamn game itself can't function with more than one person, and even if there is just one person, it can't function then. Because your actions lag a lot more with two people, your character model lags a lot more with two people, basically just a whole lot more lag, which sounds tolerable, but the issue is, in this game it's a huge issue, because the combat relies on very, very precise timings. But without further ado, let's load up a world and take a crack at it. First off, my friend chose Woody the Lumberjack for God knows what reason, but I played the game a lot more than him, so I wanted to challenge myself and play Wes. I mean, hey, I've survived for over a year in this game before, I should be alright. But we then started off on our journey, and at this phase of the game you have only two real goals. 1, explore the map, and 2, collect everything you can. Excluding logs though, because at this point in the game you should be running with torches at night rather than making campfires because exploration is key. And also, logs take up an entire inventory slot and you can only carry 20 of them in one slot, compared to the 40 of most other things. So yeah, just don't bother. I recommend only 1 stack of twigs and as much grass as you can possibly get your grubby little paws on, because drying racks are an amazing tool, which I'll get into later. Also, get as many rocks, flint and gold as possible. Anyway, so I'm now just going to completely throw out my advice and stand still in the middle of the night. But to be fair, I was just impressed that we managed to find the small moving box, who gives you 9 extra inventory slots and runs behind you. Well, technically only 8, because you have to carry an eyebone with you for him to follow you. But he's so adorable! And ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we found our base location already. Because the pigs will protect against hounds, we can exploit the pigs for both food and manual labour, and we can trade with the Pig King for even more gold. Personally, if it's a long-term world, I would tell you to base in the Oasis Desert, which is the one with the oasis in it, doi, because it has cacti, which are a great food source in the winter and in the summer, but also in the summer, it doesn't get wildfires. And you can fish in the oasis for goodies that keep the summer boss happy, and it won't, cause sinkholes. And let's be honest, there's no way we're making it that far though, so it's basically useless. Also, I'm unsure why I tried to do this, but I tried to cook a mushroom in a magma pool. I mean, it worked, so I guess it wasn't a complete waste, but I also lost a hell of a lot of health, for the sake of 1 toasty mushroom. After continuing my exploration around the Dragonfly Desert, we made it to the Oasis Desert, because this game decided to put them right next to each other to confuse the hell out of me. And oh dear God, this place is a death trap. I am so glad we are not basing here. I tried to mine some gold. That was a bit silly, wasn't it? And I then noticed the Clockworks and the Hounds were having a little scrap. This was actually alright because the monster meat can be cooked in crock pots for meatballs, and the gears can be used to make a fridge or for an ice flingomatic. But the ice flingomatics are kinda pointless this early on, but fridges let us keep our food for longer, so they're very important. Now, as I'm sure you know, when you join a game, you're going to load in a bit later than the person whose game you're joining, unless their internet is being especially janky. And so as I joined a bit later, it was night now. So I decided to try and destroy the hound homes at night, because we really needed the rocks that these bitches were guarding. Technically not a swear, YouTube please, it's a technical term, no! Also the hound's teeth from this we can use to make teeth traps, which aren't really worth it now, but are almost a necessity in the late game. But hey, science machine! This is where you actually start making some progress in the game, because you can make structures now like crockpots, chests, or farms, or best one of all, the thermal measure. But also, the backpack is amazing, because you get extra inventory, meaning more stuff, meaning more resources, meaning more survival. So, Did we make one? Of course not. Because despite having enough resources to have one and the garden, my stupid brain decided to only build the garden. We then traded with the cat-coon, it gave us ashes, murdered the cat-coon, got a backpack, finally, found a magic mushroom grotto and... Wait. What? Yeah, so it turns out that right next to the cave entrance is the Luna Grotto, and this place is busted as hell, because your sanity gets swapped out with lunacy, which is great because when your sanity gets too low, monsters spawn in who will attack you until you die. But with lunacy, it's the opposite way round, and the monsters that do spawn raise your lunacy and don't actually do damage to you. So you can therefore get infinite sanity, because as soon as you leave, that full lunacy is going to go back to full sanity. And if your sanity is too low to actually make the Gestalt spawn, you can just eat a few lunar mushrooms and it'll raise it. So, yeah. Completely busted. After this, I decided to go to the desert to loot a few of those gears for some fridges because the harvest was going to come in soon, so we needed a way to keep all that food fresh. But do you guys remember when I said that lag in this game was a really big issue? Well, the next few seconds are where this can be illustrated. I go to pick up the gear. It takes too long due to lag. We then get one of the most ridiculous hits I've ever had in my whole life due to, you guessed it, lag. Doing another circuit, the gear takes too long to pick up again, but we do end up getting another one, and then we get another one. But then, I mean, hey, I've survived for over a year in this game before. I should be alright. Excuse you, game? The fact that I dropped my stuff like a meter behind where I actually was shows just how bad the lag in this game is. Because where I dropped my stuff, that's where the game thought my character model was. At this point, I was not motivated by desire for challenge or anything like that, but I was instead motivated by pure unfiltered spite. So we readied our saddles on this bucking bronco of a game once more, and started to ride again. The start of this world was truly amazing. We found gold on day 2, had a backpack and an alchemy engine by day 3, although I didn't place the alchemy engine yet because I wanted to wait for us to find our permanent base, and on day 4 I found something truly special, the walking cane. This gives you a speed boost while you have it equipped, and it has infinite durability. And having this early in the game allows us to easily scout the rest of the world. In fact, the game is only supposed to let you have this at around about winter time, which is when you will have already explored most of the world, so yeah, I'm very pleased. After running for absolutely ages, I finally reconnected with Woody at the Pig King, who had already started to set up shop, building a farm and berry plantation before I even got there. Oh, and also, I think I went a bit overboard on the grass collection front, as I had over 100 grass by the time I saw the Pig King, due to a horrific relapse to my addiction to the grass biome. Once we got to the Pig King, I used some of the pig skin I got from hammering pig heads in the swamp to make the sexiest thing of all, public housing. But other infrastructure like crockpots or lightning rods will be a great help to the People's Oligarchy of Pigs, or POOP for short. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm a damn child. As it turns out, though, we were currently failing at the one thing that the game tells you to do. We were running out of food really bloody quickly and may even starve. And our garden wouldn't be done for a really long time. And so at first I tried to murder a pig for food. Then I realised why not just take a note out of Stalin's playbook and, rather than killing people myself, I'll just get other people to kill other people for me. Genius. And so, after killing that pig, I decided to take on an entire nest of spiders. And oh dear God, this was risky. There were so many times in this fight where if I would have just kept on attacking instead of retreating, we would have immediately died. But with just 8% of durability left on my football helmet, we won. But it was more than worth it because now we have 4 monster meat. What do we use it for? Civil War time, baby. Alright, so we started a militia, and you want this militia to be around about half the total pigs in the village. And then you can senselessly slaughter absolutely everyone there. Oh, and also, you'll finally get to see what I'm going to use all that grass for. Drying racks. This means that all your meat will mature if you put it on there, and matured meat, or jerky as the game calls it, restores health and sanity, and it lets you keep the meat for a lot longer than otherwise. Ring ring! Don't Starve's terrible servers are on the line! Yeah, so loading this world back up after we quit took ages, and then when I finally got in, I had to stare at this for a while. And my friend had the same experience, and I thought, hey, let's just reload the server, right? It should be fine. As that sense of disappointment slowly began to gnaw at the back of my mind that we may have just wasted about 2 hours for nothing. We then reloaded the world. This time I could move, but my friend couldn't. We tried to reload the world over and over and over again, punching at this wall of bedrock consistently. I even tried to reload the world, as in roll back the world, just so as the start of the day, rather than in the middle of the day, to see if that would work, but still he wouldn't move. And he had to stare at what I can best describe as a pig house made from pig heads, because you guys won't be able to see what I saw, because it was sent on an Xbox message. But yeah, it was traumatizing. And also, when I went to see Woody, he was just standing there, menacingly. So, now, defeat laced through our souls, we gave it one more try. One more try to reach winter. Let's go. Now, when I said that we had a good start last time, we found gold and the mosaic biome, which contains lots of rocks, on day 1. And so we immediately began to dig up saplings and bushes. Woody, being Woody, decided to dig up some graves. So, yeah. I mean, are you really surprised when the guy looks like this? Perhaps, though, I should have heeded the warning sent by the world, as here there was an ice staff, representing the immense bounty of the world. But there were hounds surrounding it, representing the immense dangers to follow after we collected said bounties. Whatever, they probably just got the wrong number. With our temporary base around the science machine established, I was sent off into the swamp to go searching for the Pig King. And I was so goddamn stupid in here. So I saw all of these reeds next to each other, and so I literally thought, the game wouldn't put tentacles so close to this many reeds, and so I ate some food. And I got bloody waffle stomped by a tentacle. There is literally no excuse for this level of stupidity. I know what the goddamn reed trap set piece is. I just kind of thought, yeah, sure is a lot of reeds close together. Couldn't be a set piece though. Just freaky world, Jen. Yeah, really showing yourself to be the bloody genius of the constant, aren't you? Anyway though, my friend found the Pig King biome again. I guess he just sort of has a divining rod for this sort of thing. And as he went to go and show me where some tallbirds were, I saw a walrus camp. And so I decided to explain to him that walrus hunting parties only show up in winter, and that he has to be careful around them. Thankfully though, I know all about this, so I should be absolutely fine.
In the business, we call this foreshadowing.
The base was now, for the final time, constructed. I also made a think tank for the first time, which is what you use to make boats, and also Woody started production on the farm, and after I brought all of the plants and trinkets back from the temporary base, we had one of the biggest farms we've ever had. Following this, it's time to get started on the best thing in the entire game. I'm of course referring to drying racks. But to do that, we need meat. Lots and lots and lots of meat. So I tried to recruit an assassination squad for the tallbirds, but the pigs decided to piss off to God's knows where, and I couldn't find where the tallbirds were for ages for some reason. So I decided to go on a hunt. And there the tallbirds are. Anyway, we find the hunt, but I was absolutely hopeless at cornering it. So I screamed at the top of my lungs for help, and somehow the two of us put together were even worse at cornering it. So we just left the game for a bit. Also, hounds. Woody was on really low health to begin with this fight, so we had to kill him super quickly. But Woody had only 10 health by the end, so we needed to heal him back up. And how do we do this? Well, by abusing the power of magic mushrooms, of course. So, I'll go off to the caves and cut down some mush trees while I explain how all this works. So, raw blue mushrooms heal you for 20 health, while docking your sanity by 15. But cooked green caps dock your health by 1, but increase your sanity by 15. I think you can see where I'm going with this. And so, as Woody has 150 health and 200 sanity, if Woody, through whatever freak circumstance, maybe got in a car accident or something, has 1 health and 0 sanity, with just 8 blue mushrooms and 11 green mushrooms, you can have maximum sanity and 149 health. So, yeah, these are just completely busted. Oh, also, Andy's favourite toy turned into a goose on the full moon and found the Terraria chest, which you would have thought to be a good thing. But this actually caused the downfall of the entire run. Not that much really happens in the next few days, really, besides turning a pig into a werepig using monster meat, getting a lantern, very nearly dying due to a bunch of pigmen, and then this sort of calm lasted for a while, until the time when winter was right on our doorstep. It's around here where the issues that face your character drastically change. The best way I can describe this shift is sort of like how poorer countries have to worry about dying children and whatnot, whereas richer countries have to worry about their populations not dying at all and being too old to work. As we have now prototyped most of the essential stuff, we're going insane. So my advice is to either eat green mushrooms, cacti, or just prototype a bunch of random junk you're never going to use, like, I don't know, mini signs. Oh, also, my friend said that there were some beefalo nearby, so I thought I wouldn't have to worry about making a winter hat because we could just shave all the beefalo at once. But as it bloody turns out, some beefalo means one beefalo in his strange language brain. So now only one of us will get a winter hat for winter, which will probably be him because I've experienced winter more often. Also, due to the long winter nights, sanity would most certainly be an issue, so I went to the Tollbirds to get some meat for drying racks and, well, let's just say I found out what had happened to our little hunt from before, and the meat issue was helped so much by this accidental death. But also, another bloody world war was going on, with the Tollbirds acting as the allies, the hounds as the axis, and the spiders, well, they kind of got demolished in 5 seconds flat, but they were still there, so, I got it. Spiders are French. After this, I kind of had a Walter White moment, where I already knew that the winter clothing was a serious issue, but after thinking it over, I just kind of realised how terribly the situation actually had progressed. So, the last few days of autumn, I was dashing around like a bloody madman, trying to find any other beefalo. Oh, and I also found this rabbit trap on a skeleton, so I was harvesting bunnies for their sweet, sweet flesh. Well, no, actually I wanted to make the prestidigitator, mainly just to let me run away from my problems. Also, I reused my pig kill squad idea on the Tollbirds, and it worked like an absolute treat. But with thermal stones acquired and only one winter hat guaranteed, we were in a sticky spot. But we would be okay, as long as we stuck together, and... oh, for God's sake! Yeah, so basically what he did was, he tried to anger some spiders, and then he'd have those spiders run through the guard pigs who were guarding the Terraria chest, and then have them both fight, I assume? It didn't work, and he just got tag-teamed by both of them, but I do appreciate the effort. But unfortunately, as soon as I got back to the house, I realised just how close to winter it was. And then in the morning, at the dawn of day 21, winter had arisen. Winter, when the aging of the earth from autumn begins to give way to a certain demise. Winter, when the vulture who looks at you promises to be your friend, he lies. Winter, when the line between food and friend starts to blend. Winter, This is the end. Master Oogway. Anyway, enough of that sappy stuff. Let's go and get vengeance on those pigs. So, I actually had an idea, which I'm quite proud of, to be honest. So, I got Woody, the ghost Woody now, to haunt the pigs until they became werepigs, so that way the guard pigs and the werepigs would fight each other, and therefore I could just finish off the last remaining pig. He did accidentally haunt one of the torches, which spawned in another pig, but you know, in the end, we got it. And what did he sacrifice his life for? Well, there was a terrarium, 11 logs, some healing salves, and an empty jar. I have never seen a bigger waste of life ever. Also, I built the prestidigitator after getting the last rabbit, and I realised something so stupid of me. I thought the life-giving amulet only needed gold and a red gem, but it needs nightmare fuel too, which means I would have to go insane and then make myself not go insane so that way we can revive Woody. But, as if this didn't signal the world's death enough, it seemed not only did they want to encourage me to go to the roof of the building, but they wanted to push me off it as well, because while I was checking the map looking for some touchstones, hounds attacked. It was night time. There was no help from the pigs, so I just had to keep running around and around and around and around and around and around. And, you know, I'm gonna be honest, as much as it is a bit of a quote-unquote gamer stereotype to just blame lag for everything, it caused a few of the hits in there, I think. I could be completely wrong. Let me know in the comments. Just kidding, I got like 20 views. But anyway, I ran away. I was nearly dead. And thankfully, I don't know how, but I managed to distract them by just making them all eat the Pengals, so only one of the hounds came after me. And so I killed that hound, and then I started to think. If the pigs had woken up by now, because, you know, it was daytime, we just might still have a shot. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. So yeah, after that, we pretty much just gave up because I'd probably go again, but the issue is, you know, if it's a friend, it's very difficult to convince them to do something for like 20 views. So we just sort of gave up and played Siege, and we didn't do much better at that. But hey, when you lose at Siege, you lose like 10 minutes of progress. When you lose at Don't Starve, you use like 40 years of your life. So, yeah, I'm quite happy though. I mean, we did a lot better than I thought we were going to do, and we beat it without cheating. Tell you what, I'll leave you guys a little bit of a puzzle. There's someone in the Don't Starve community who was cheated on a Weber Hamlet playthrough. I'll give you a hint. It might come to you after you scratch your beard 777 times. But anyway, that's that. Also, if any of you prefer my more, you know, slightly more serious drama-ish content, I do have a video on that coming. It's going to be on the history of the English Defence League and what they're doing now. Also, I'm so sorry. Right, okay. I know it's just one guy, but there's this one guy, and he said, "Oh yeah, I like your Skylanders video." And I told him I was going to do it. And I'm going to do it. But I'm sorry, man. It'll be done someday. Anyway. Good night. Chin chin. See you later. And remember, I'll run an art showcase.